Mm. Hi, hello everybody. It's your girl Lumi again, and this is Gloomy Talks. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and this is the third episode of Gloomy Talks. To those who have subscribed to my YouTube channel, thank you so much. To those that drop comments, to those that like my videos, thank you so much for the support. I really, really do appreciate it. And if you're watching my channel for the first time, please do not forget to subscribe, do not forget to like, do not forget to comment. And Joe, thank you so much. And welcome back. So on today's episode of Beauty Talks, we're talking about House of Gucci. I am sure some of you have seen the House of Gucci. Aside Tina Swindler, House of Gucci is also on the eye. So let me give a brief synopsis of what House of Gucci is all about. So it's all about unbridled ambition. It's all about family feud, and then how the third generation ruined what was created by the first generation. The fall of an empire. That's just what House of Gucci is all about. And then House of Gucci explains how each character contributed to the downfall of the empire. That's just it. So let's quickly go into the main character. So the main characters in House of Gucci, we have Patricia, we have Mauricio, we have Aldo, we have Paolo, we have Rodolfo. So Rodolfo happens to be Mauricio's dad, then Aldo happens to be Mauricio's uncle, then Paolo is Mauricio's son. So Mauricio and Rodolfo obviously are two sons of same father, and then they gave birth to Paolo and Mauricio. So that's just the simple thing. Then Mauricio married Patricia. So Patricia, if we have to talk about Patricia, Patricia is actually this character who is really ambitious. She's very ambitious. She's good at she's observant. She's a go getter. She she loves that name. She like that name freaks her out. Like she will do everything and anything to actually protect that name. She wants Gucci to be at the top. She wants her house. She wants to be with her husband at the top. That's what she doesn't. She's not this old woman who just wants her husband to be at the top. She wants to be at the top with her husband too. So she loves her family in her own way. And then for Mauricio, Mauricio is actually a man who to me is, I don't know how to describe this character. He's a man who is kind of confused. He doesn't know what he wants. He can be termed a coward. He can be termed a coward. He can be termed a man who he doesn't have the necessary managerial skills to handle business. He can be termed someone who gives up easily. Like once something is not going this way, he's just going to give up. That's Mauricio for you. Now for Aldo who happens to be Mauricio's uncle, he's a good man in his own way, but he just had this whole obsolete idea. He kept on promoting obsolete idea and wasn't doing any good to the business. And then he's this old father who loves his son just the way his son is. He would always refer to Paolo as my idiot, and he always say, "I know how to handle my idiot." Now for Paolo is a good person. He's emotional. He loves his father. He's tired of being in the shadows. Like he wants to be out in the open. He wants people to see him for who he is. He wants his father to be proud of who he is. He wants to promote his designs. He has that gift, but he just needs to nurture it. He just needs to perfect it. He needs to be good at what he does. Now let's talk about the minor characters. We have Domenico, who happens to be the family lawyer, and he also happens to be the business lawyer. Domenico is actually kind of funny, but he did all he can to support the business. So actually, he made decisions that were good for business. By the end of the day, he still betrayed the family. And then for Paula, who is also known as Nora Frankie, Paula, in a way, like she didn't really add. She ended up being Mauricio's new lover. She didn't really. She was just there. The only thing she contributed to Mauricio was allowing him to be who he is. And who is Paolo? A confused. Sorry, who is Mauricio? A confused man. Now, Signora Patricia happens to be a woman who was check and balance of her husband. Like she was ambitious and she pushed her husband to be ambitious. So that was exactly what she did. Then on the part of our brother Mauricio, he is a coward. I can remember a time when financial police came to their house. Mauricio escaped through the back door on a scooter. He went to South Maurice without his family. Like at that point in time, I saw selfishness. Like he was not concerned about his wife, was not concerned about his child. They were out there, but all he was concerned about was his own safety. He left without them. On the part of Patricia, like in that scene, I saw a brave woman. Like the way she carried herself, the way she walked into the room, the way she no, at a point she was actually getting into the head of the police inspector. Like that woman is good. She's going to make you do what otherwise she would not do, and that was exactly what she did with Paulo. Like she knows how to watch out for your weakness. She knows how to watch out for what might fuel your pride, and then she's going to use that. And then Patricia is the old kind of person that is easily likable. Like you will like Patricia because she's wise. Like for example, in order to settle the feud between father and son, that is Rodolfo and Mauricio, she named her daughter after Mauricio's mom. And of course, he understands the fact that Rodolfo really loves his wife. And that was exactly that singular act was what softened the heart of Rodolfo. You need to remember the fact that Rodolfo kept pointing to the fact that you has removed Mauricio from his will. Now, after he died, Mauricio was the only person he gave the entire will to Mauricio. Like it was because of that wife. Patricia was a good businesswoman. She had the necessary managerial skills. But you see this old unbridled ambition. That was just the whole thing that spoiled it for her. And I felt like Mauricio was this whole kind of person who gave up on his family so easily. Like it was because of this same Patricia that you left your empire, you left your father, and then you went to work for Patricia's dad. So how come you're leaving that kind of woman so easily because you said so now your uncle hates you and your cousin hates you? She gave you a suggestion. You either take it or leave it. It is that simple. So I feel like Mauricio was this old man who was not able to hold his own together. He cannot even hold himself together, not to talk of his family. And then come to think about the fact that Gucci was struggling. Gucci was struggling. But what was Mauricio doing? Mauricio was buying cars, he was buying wristwatch, he was just buying unnecessary things. Like in the name of the business, like you were not making profit. Like you had 30 million in loss. You had many other things. It was impossible to pay workers, and then you were just there. Like you were trying to raise the empire up. You were trying to build business, and then you were still like it's just like you're trying to raise something up with your hand, and then you're still using your other hand to drag it down. That was exactly what Mauricio was doing. And then at a point, I saw his incompetence when he was talking to the investors. He pointed to the fact that I want to sell the other half of Gucci that is giving me an headache. Who wants to buy your headache? Like you don't just convince investors by telling them you want to sell the other half that is giving you an headache. I don't understand. You could have used a better word. You could have thought of another way to actually put your sentence together, to put your words together so that you can convince your investors. And now look at it at the end of the day, because he kept making mistakes upon mistakes, the investors were willing to buy him out. It was as if what he did to his uncle and his cousin was coming back to him. Like what he did, what goes around comes back around. You bought their shares, and now they are willing to do to actually push you out as well. So it is always important to remember the fact that family is key no matter what. They could have settled that matter amicably. Like Aldo was okay, he was all into himself, he was proud in his own way, but there are ways in which you can actually get to sort things out. And then as for Aldo, I feel like it is important that we watch what we say to people. Patricia really loved Aldo, no doubt about it. But the moment Aldo kept pointing to the fact that Patricia was not a real Gucci, and let's not forget the fact that it is that name that is actually freaking Patricia out. Like at a point in time, she actually cried. So I feel like that was one of the reasons why she decided to buy them out. Why she decided to convince her husband into buying them out. And as for Mauricio, he kept blaming Patricia for the fall, for everything. I feel like if someone is teaching you how to be wicked, if you're not wicked, you're not going to be wicked. It's that simple. Patricia does not have the pen, she doesn't have the document to sign. You either take her advice or leave it. Because at the end of the day, when Patricia was talking to him, she said, "You finally bought the shares of Aldo and Paulo. You did what I told you to do." That means he had the other options. Like he could have decided to be like, "Oh, this is family is key for me. I'll stay here. No, this is we can go about it in another way." And then for Aldo, he failed to train his idiot. That's just the thing. He failed to train his idiot. He kept calling Paulo his idiot. He's my idiot. I know how to deal with it. But sometimes you need to deal with your idiot. Sometimes you need to train your idiot. Sometimes you need to let your idiot swallow. Like that was just what we did for him. That was what we did. And then at the end of the day, I feel like every character contributed to the downfall of Empire in their own way. Because let's take an example, like in the game of chess, sometimes when you lose your pawn, you still continue to play your game. Doesn't mean that the game has ended. If you've seen the Indian movie Rostom sacrificed his queen in order to save the entire kingdom. Now, in the case of um, Mauricio, at first I thought he was trying to sacrifice Patricia in order to save the empire, in order to save himself of unnecessary headache. But I discovered the fact that he was confused. He ended up losing at his own game. In fact, he doesn't even know how to play his game. He lost his queen, he lost the empire, and he lost the family. And then at the end, he lost his whole life because he refused to seek what was important. He didn't see what was important. He didn't think of what was necessary. Like your family was not here with you, you said for it, and then you decided you were partying. I don't understand. Your wife was out there. Your wife was facing the fire, and you were there having fun. You were there flirting with another woman. He does not know. He does not know what to do. Like business was on fire, the empire was on fire, but all we were concerned about was taking pictures, was buying properties. No, in my to me, while it can be said that Patricia contributed to the downfall of the empire, her contribution can be said to be 10%. What Mauricio contributed in the downfall is 90%. Like he messed it up totally. At the end of the day, they always say family is key. So it is important that sometimes before taking certain actions, you think about the consequences of your actions. Like, okay, if I do this way, how will it end? What is going to happen? And then I also feel like it is important that even yes, it is good to be ambitious, but please be ambitious in the right way. It's very, very important. If you're too ambitious in the wrong way, you're going to start getting it wrong at a point in time. You're going to start doing things that you're not meant to do. All in the name of I want to get this, I want to get you continue getting it wrong. And then at the end of the day, even if things do not go your way, you shouldn't resort to murder. And I think that was where Patricia got it wrong. She shouldn't have murdered her husband. It was true that he abandoned them. Because if you check the diary, like I know most of you people do not really focus on that diary fact. Now, if you check the diary well, you understand the fact that February 7 was the last time that that Marisa actually spoke to his child, and he only spoke for 200 plus seconds to his own child. And then from that time, it was after his death. Like he didn't talk to them again. He said he was going to take care of them. Okay, I'm leaving you guys. You can move into the penthouse. But the penthouse that you wanted to give them, you ended up moving into it yourself. I just feel like you ruined everything. You said you were going to take care of them, but you never did. Even the empire that you were fighting for, you ended up losing everything. You ended up losing. He didn't calculate it well. He didn't place his card well. He didn't protect his territory well, and then he ended up losing it. Ended up spoiling it. Because at the end of the movie, they pointed to the fact that no member of the Gucci family is actually a part of Gucci right now. Just look at it. So that will be all on Lumi Talks today. Please do not forget to subscribe, do not forget to like, do not forget to comment, and of course I dey here for you, my mind dey for you. So I have the beat for you. Thank you so much for the love, thank you so much for sharing. I really do appreciate it. I'll see you all again next time. Bye.